Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm Chris Bianchi, and I'm staying here in the backyard, the 9 News backyard, with a whole bunch of plants, and also Plum Creek Garden Market Operations Manager Audrey Sharp for a bit more about how gardening can affect your mental health and really improve it. And Audrey, I guess getting your insight here will be extra helpful, of course, but just talk to us. You know, you work obviously at the garden market from a broad perspective. Before we kind of get into some of the nitty-gritty about some of the plants and how it affects us emotionally, what has it done for you personally? I'd be curious to start things off with that.
Oh, it's my best part of summer. I mean, look at all this color. You just don't want to leave your house if you pretty it up with all of this. I mean, you can just sit outside in your backyard and enjoy it. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's not just, you know, there are studies that go into this, that gardening can affect you with your emotional well-being. Also, by the way, here, Audrey, what I find interesting, I will start things off by admitting I am not a huge gardener. My fiance loves it. I am not a huge gardener. I'm starting to get into it a little bit. And we'll get into, by the way, some beginner tips as well. So we'll have all that for you here in the next few minutes. But there's also a pretty good physical connection, right? I mean, when you're outside there, you're kind of mimicking squats, you're doing a lot of physical activity as well, right?
It's a total workout. You can do what you love and you get a workout doing it. You're around all the good smells, all the good flowers, and you're really contributing something to the environment. So hopefully you're getting those hummingbirds and those butterflies. And who isn't happy around all that?
Who is not happy around all that? Oh, and it's beautiful. You mentioned it's the time of year for it. So let's go over some of these plants here. Again,
awesome.
I'm beginner. I'm gardening 101. So just explain some of this to us here.
Everybody starts as a home gardener, Chris. So everybody can learn. You know, if this is your first summer and you haven't gardened, give it a shot. I promise you'll be a happier person. So we brought some perennials. These are some columbines. This is our state flower. We've got 3 colors here. You've actually got them in your own backyard. Yours are in bloom right now. They look great. We've got some dianthus, we've got some salvia, petunias in the baskets. We definitely have some hummingbird attractors with the color here on the trumpet vine. I mean, you can find anything at our markets that you can fall in love with. We shop by color, annual, perennial, whatever you're looking for. And
by the way, for those of you, my fellow beginners out there, perennial means it grows back each year. You don't have to do anything. You put it in the ground, and it'll come back up each year. You don't have to do any work for it. Again, my fiance, she loves those.
Look at you, Chris. Good job.
Yeah. I guess when it comes to some of these, any ones that, again, somebody like me who has not gardened a whole lot, an easy one to maybe start getting going with some of these types of plants?
A basket's a good one. We did all the work for you. You just need to water it, occasionally deadhead it, and just watch it grow. Super easy. Another really great one that we love is catmint or columbine. These just need to be deadhead after their bloom is spent. So maybe every week, once a week, every 2 weeks. This is a really good one. Dianthus is easy. Salvia requires nothing. As far as easy perennials here, I would say salvia.
Salvia, and that's
right here. Comes in all colors. We've got white. It's also in a raspberry fuchsia, purple, a dark blue, a light purple. Easy, easy.
And it's easy. Okay.
Easy.
I'm remembering that for myself and hopefully for those as well. And by the way, that is salvia, S-A-L-V-I-A. I'm memorizing this a little bit myself. Okay, I kind of want to, again, one of the reasons we want to have you on here, Audrey, was to specifically speak about the mental health effects. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we want to make sure that, of course, you know, there's a lot of different ways to help out your mood, to help you out with your mental health. What is your mood like? Let's say you're having a bad day, and you go to the backyard and you're starting to garden. How does that affect your mood over the course of that time?
Well, first of all, there's not many hobbies you can do that requires you to check off of your device. So leave your phone inside. It's plant therapy. It's free therapy. You know, you get outside, you're doing something with your hands, whether it's cleaning up your yard initially. I mean, everybody feels so good just with the act of gardening. And then you watch it grow. That's something that you did yourself, and you watch it flourish all summer. I mean, you can't think of better free therapy than that.
Absolutely not. And by the way, it's not just, you know, we're showing all these beautiful flowers and different kinds of plants, but of course there's also a bit more of a logistical reason behind it. You can grow your own gardens and
vegetables,
reap the benefits of that.
Cilantro, dill, peppers, tomatoes. I mean, you can do anything.
And by the way, when it comes to those, any ones that are best for a beginner as well, if you're just starting to get into gardening, maybe any best plants or fruits or vegetables to start
Yeah, pumpkins.
Pumpkins?
Put it in, watch
Really?
it grow. It's really amazing ground cover too, those leaves. And then at the end of summer, right when Halloween arrives, your harvest is ready, your pumpkins are grown, you don't need to do much for those. Tomatoes, peppers, I think anything in the vegetable world is pretty easy. They don't have to be in raised bed, they don't have to be in the ground. You can just do them in a container, a simple pot. A lot of people that live in condos or apartments, this is how they grow their veggie garden. And it's easy. I mean, there's no one way, there's no right way. It's just whatever works for you.
So there isn't. So it's not necessarily an exact recipe, right?
No.
Maybe people who got into baking during the pandemic. And by the way, we'll talk about the pandemic and how that affected gardening here in the next couple of minutes as well. But that's kind of interesting that you say that there's no exact formula or recipe, because you think about, again, baking or cooking, and
Absolutely.
there is that, but not with gardening.
Yeah, everybody's sun exposure is different. Plants are half science, half magic. So what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. You just kind of got to figure out what you like and what's happy in your own backyard.
That's super interesting to me. And by the way, that's also kind of a bit of a plus, I think, as well. So I want to speak specifically about the pandemic. It's obvious, I know many of you at home, basically everybody knows how gardening really seemed to take off during the pandemic, along with baking as well, a lot of those kind of hobbies that you're able to do at home. Why do you think that happened? And also, have you noticed that increase continue on here as we get out of COVID, so to speak?
Absolutely. I mean, I think COVID showed everybody what you are capable at home. I think there was some panic of, grocery stores being out of supplies, so that incited a lot of motivation to people to get in their garden and plant those tomatoes and plant those vegetables. I mean, we were all hanging out at the house anyway, so you might as well grow what you're eating. I do think some people saw how easy it was, and then they continued on with the hobby. So we definitely have seen an increase in at least the interest of planting in Colorado.
Yeah, and has it also turned a bit more social now that we're obviously able to hang out again and interacting in more normal social environments once again? Is gardening becoming a bit more of a social hobby as well?
I think so. I mean, I have a community garden. I live in Platt Park, and we've got a community garden that everybody kind of puts in work. If you're going to take something, you just have to give it a little love, pull some weeds, do some deadheading. I feel a definite community vibe in my neighborhood alone. I provide tomatoes for my neighbors. My girls, my neighbor girls next door grow my tomatoes, surprisingly.
Oh.
So I get my tomatoes from them. I mean, if you want to kind of share here and there, there is a saying, if you don't have zucchinis in the summer, you have no friends.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I've not heard that. We have some zucchinis we've been giving to our next door neighbor as well. By we, my fiance, to be absolutely clear about that one. So I guess from a top end sort of thing, we've discussed how it makes you a bit more socially better, improves your mood. You get a bit of a tangible, more than a bit of a tangible feedback in terms of the fact that you're growing fruits and vegetables. I guess when it comes to all this altogether, is gardening, has it perhaps been a little bit underrated over the years, and maybe the pandemic has brought out some of those benefits?
For sure. I mean, I think we're all addicted to technology. I mean, it gives you a break to kind of enjoy life again and do something different that isn't on TV or you're not staring at a screen. I think COVID definitely did help us out. I mean, it's not new. This has been around for a while. I mean, I think even as a kid, you can get your kids out there, start them young. I think a lot of people have their best memories with their grandparents, picking apples or planting pansies, a lot of those, kind of memories that people have with their specific grandparents or moms. I mean, I know I do. So I think it's coming back.
I kind of want to hear about your story. How did you start with gardening?
Well, I was raised in Alabama, and I actually had we had a house on a huge property. So I do remember going in there and at least planting pansies in the bedding gardens at my house. And as I've gotten older, I've started to pick up more and more things that I like to do. Kind of just comes.
Any final tips about people who might be looking at gardening as a mental health booster, or just overall? It sounds like an overall life booster. Yeah. Again, I'm kind of speaking a little bit for myself here. Any tips about how to get going?
Just do it. Get in there. Ask some questions. Don't be afraid. If everybody makes mistakes, including me. Including you, maybe, Chris.
I don't know.
As far as planting, you just got to do something different. You just got to try it. That's all we can say. Just give it a shot.
Well, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
And of course, Plum Creek Garden Market. I'm sure you guys have plenty of options for people
Absolutely.
as well. And
we've got a full veggie program, herbs and the fruits. We've got perennials, annuals, patio pots, hanging baskets. We've got it all.
Got it all. Well, Audrey Sharp, we appreciate a few minutes of your time and lending us your expertise and teaching us a little bit about all these beautiful plants and how you can maybe make gardening a part of your daily routine as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris.